Hello, Aquarius. Welcome back. Let's dive in and see what divine messages Spirit has for you today. Sorry, let me bless these decks. I hope all is well with you, Aquarius. We've been having some deep readings lately with you. Hope that you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your loved ones, and moving in light and love. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what we have here. All right. Your overall energy is going to be around inviting love. Inviting love in. It's something about it that it seems like it's a very small notion, but in reality, love, the invitation of love is very big. Love is at the core of morals, at the core of values. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize, but love is at the core of a lot of things that motivate us, whether we realize that or not, right? Whether that's love for self, love for, a challenge, love for, achieving a goal. It's, I feel like love is the root to almost everything. Okay. Even when you think about some negative things, it comes from a foundation of love. Like, in order for someone to hate you, they have to have loved you at some point in time, or felt something emotionally towards you, right? Right. Because you otherwise, why would, you know, the hate be so strong, or the dislike be so strong? Now there are cases where people dislike people, but I feel like, it still comes from love, either lack of love. But I just feel like it's, that's the basis of it, right? All right, so there's something here about energy of inviting love, right? I feel like, what you're not seeing clearly right now is, your, mm, okay, Aquarius. My eyes locked in on, you know, spiritual challenges. So, but when I locked in on spiritual challenges, I thought about spirit. So, if there's spiritual challenges, then that must mean that there's spiritual tests. So maybe you're up against spiritual challenges, spiritual tests, revolving love. Seeing if you're capable of moving out of love, inviting love. I feel like, this is something that, this is something that you're capable of overcoming. Okay, you're capable of overcoming these spiritual tests, these spiritual challenges, right? I feel like you're capable of beating the odds. There's something here about, moving out of grounded energy. Okay, a lot of just think about it. When you think of emotions, emotions, I think of, especially when it comes to tarot, I think about water. Okay, water symbolizes the emotions, right? So if you try to do things in the water, it's going to be more difficult versus, trying to do things on solid ground, being at, standing ground. So, I feel like for my Aquariuses, you're capable of, inviting love in, whether that's accepting or giving, right? And moving out of an authentic place, once you're able to step outside of your emotions, once you're able to, once you are fully capable of stepping outside, you know, the now of your emotions and stepping onto solid ground to be able to create a basis, for your decisions or, the choices that you make, right? Well, I feel like, moving in this energy is going to stop any blockages. It's going to stop any delays, okay? It's going to remove any illusions or, any tricks. I said tricks, but my mind shifted me somewhere else. There's something, hmm, when you move out of love, it's going to, you know, move you out of the delays of illusions and conflicts. This could be, and I'm seeing here, you know, interesting, Aquarius. There's something here about, hmm, what's going on with you, Aquarius? There's something chaotic going on, but it's something, I know that moving out of love, moving with the intention of love is going to remove you out of illusions. It's going to, and that could be manipulation. It's going to remove you out of manipulation. It's going to remove you out of, illusions. It's going to remove you out of conflict, whether that's external or internal. It's going to move, obstacles out of your path. Maybe you're blocked right now. I'm getting, maybe you're working hard, but you're not really seeing the benefits of your labor. There's something here. Something here about you being, you know, practical, you being, emotionally intelligent in the middle of chaos. Still giving love, still giving warmth, still giving love and light. This is a spiritual, you know, it's challenging for you. It's hard, but this is a test. It's a challenge. Honestly, I feel like my air signs are being developed right now. Either they, have been developed, they're going through the initiations of being developed, or they're dead smack on in the middle of it. It's challenging for you to separate your emotions, it's challenging for you to separate your decision making from your emotions. It's hard. It's hard for you to, be to stand on solid ground, to move in a, to move in a practical way, to move, Jesus. Your emotions block a lot of things for you. It does. And I feel like, Spirit is God, is trying to develop that in you. It's like like if you get mad at your child, you're not going to go, you're not going to like, come on. I'm trying to give a good example. I'm really trying to give a good example. I don't know. It's just something strongly here, like about you not fighting fire with fire. It's something here about not, not giving people what they give you, when it comes to negativity. It's like you gotta somehow, some way you have to transmute that. But the biggest barrier for you is you being caught up in your emotions. Like I'm getting an Aquarius, it's so hard for you to separate your emotions from afflictions and things that you go through. You can't even stand on solid ground. Like your ass have to sit. Like you just like it's just difficult. It's in your eyes, it's easier for you to do tick for tack. It's easy for you to just spin back and get your revenge rather than, trusting God and letting God spin back for you. But that's a block. That's a block. You know, it's yeah. There's something toxic here. It might be something with a connection, or just simply, you being, you being this attached to your emotions is creating some type of toxic cycle. It's restricting you. You're not reaching your fullest potential because of, this emotional barrier, you know, and you're being required, spiritually required to move on to get past this barrier. You can do it though. You can do it. You're capable. You just got to put it in your mind. You got to put it in your heart and you got to take action. There's something strongly here about wanting to get even, but it's just a form of like you're trapping yourself. You're sabotaging yourself. It's something internally that something is, I don't know what it is. It's something within you that causes you, to make these decisions. Man, it's like you get in your emotions and you move impulsively. You move blindly. Spirit is like, baby, I need you, you know, I need you awoken. I need you capable. Because you can be a Nine of Pentacles. You can, draw the line when it comes to the choices you make with your emotions. You can let go and let spirit work, but tell me more, Holy Spirit. You gotta listen. You have to listen. Oh my goodness. The person you will be if you listen. Ah, the person that you will be if you listen, you don't even understand. It's like I'm getting my Aquarius who, like, you allow spirit to develop you. Spirit is gonna bring you out into a beautiful place. You're gonna be in a very good space mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Okay? But if you take things into your own hands, you're gonna block yourself faster than you think. And I feel like for the first thing that's going to be blocked is your labor. You're going to be working hard on things to make things, to, bring things in. And it's going to seem like nothing is working. It's going to seem like nothing is working for you. You're going to have everything you need and it's still not going to work. The emotions. It's the emotions. Your emotions are your biggest struggle. You being stubborn with because of your emotions. And it's the biggest, your emotions. Ace of Cups. We got wands out. Come on, it's your emotions are your biggest struggle right now. Your emotions are your biggest struggle. That's your biggest conflict with it creates conflict not only within yourself, but, with others. It's your emotions. You have to move out of love. You have to be compassionate. You have to be kind. You have to move with grace. Why is that so hard for you? Why is that so challenging for you? You know, Maybe we need to start going seeking some extra help to figure out why we are incapable of not letting things go. Why do we feel like we have to be the judge and the jury? Why do we feel like we have to, be the distributor of karma? Why is it so hard? I get it. I can get it, but that's what spirit is just encouraging me to say. Like I totally it's human. We're human. If someone does something wrong to us, we want to let them know, you did me like this, and I'm gonna show you not finna do me like this, not you, not them, her, him, they say, I don't care. Ooh, I get it. But air signs, we're meant to go with the flow. We take life how it goes. You know, we're not we're not meant to be in a position to, you know, pass judgment or, you know, manipulate others fate or destiny. You know, we are the ones that lead and, inspire and, you know, we make things feel free and clear and, you know, I don't know why I heard we're the ones that make life worth living. I don't know. But, it's, like I always tell my children, there's consequences to every choice you make, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's up to you. You have to decide what you're going to do. But, spirit is laying it out here on the table. You know, there's something strongly here about moving. The overall message is moving out of love and light, being kind, having grace, having compassion, not taking matters into your own hands. Breaking free from this karmic cycle your emotions are putting you in consistently. You are troubled emotionally. And I feel like there's things that trigger you. I feel like there's things that add to it. But it's like, this is something that you can come back. It's like, how some people are just so far gone. You're not one of those people. You know, you really are, you really have a good heart. You really are a good person, but it all boils down to, the choices that you made. So you have to decide, Aquarius. I hope you choose wisely. Take care till next time.